This is Ratchet and Clank, the 2016 video game that's based on a movie that's based on the original 2002 Ratchet and Clank video game. It's a video game tie-in of a soft reboot film. You know what? I'm getting a headache. It's technically a reimagining of the first game from 2002. Now, a reimagining in this context means that they couldn't be bothered to make a whole new game, so they upgraded the graphics slightly, cut out all the good writing from the original and replaced it with cutscenes from a movie that no one saw or liked. Gameplay wise, it's Ratchet and Clank classic. Lots of fun weapons, okay platforming, and the kind of smooth, polished combat that Insomniac is great at. But every time you start to have fun, the game stops and it's back to, hey, remember, there's a movie, here's another clip from it, wasn't that a fun movie? We even got Paul Giamatti. The original game has charm and heart. This game feels like it was cobbled together by a room full of people in charge saying, how can we sell toys to 8-year-olds and nostalgia to 30-year-olds in the same package? So yeah, it's not terrible, but it's not good either. It's not even really Ratchet and Clank. It's a hologram of Ratchet and Clank. Pretty to look at and technically impressive, but with nothing beneath the surface. It's like someone reanimated your dead childhood dog and said, it doesn't matter if he doesn't feel anything towards you anymore. Look, he's wagging his tail. That'll be £30, please. So, Ollie, have you ever played Ratchet and Clank 2016?
Nope.
Well, for those who don't know, the Ratchet and Clank series is a sort of bunch of action platformer games with sometimes inappropriate titles where you play as a cat person called Ratchet, who is accompanied by his sarcastic robot pal called Clank. You visit different worlds and do various quests and solve problems for people, which mainly involve you running and gunning through dangerous areas, and then also random shit like hoverboarding and collecting cards. The story for this game is pretty generic and pretty much follows the plot of the film, which I assume everyone has seen, obviously.
Obviously.
But basically, there's an evil plan involving Chairman Drex and Dr. Nefarious, which you have to stop with your Space Ranger pals. I won't deny that this game plays great. It's typical Ratchet and Clank. They've got a typical formula, which they use for every game. It's simple platforming. You smash hundreds of boxes and collect all your bolts. And you take on waves of enemies with sillier and sillier weapons. You know, there's a gun, it's called a pixel gun, and it turns enemies into pixel versions of themselves. There's a Groovatron that makes enemies dance. It's all very fun. And this game is no exception. Mindless fun, I'd say. The noise of collecting like 10,000 bolts in one go. Dopamine every time. If I had to think of something else positive about this game, I'd say that the banter between Ratchet and Clank is still pretty good. It's always been good from like the first game onwards, and it's okay in this game. The writing's pretty poor overall. But James Arnold Taylor is always good for a voice acting role, and Captain Quark is always good as well in these games. He's sort of got that Zach Brannigan vibe, you know, for Futurama, which always makes me laugh. So not all bad news with this game, but you know, mostly. Anyone looking for a bit of complexity, I think, will be put off by this game. It is so simple. It's just one straight line all the way through the game. Which means that you spend about 10 minutes on every planet. There's 8 or 9. And you are on there for 10 minutes at most, just bang, 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 speak to someone, bang, 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 done. And then you fly off to a different planet. So the pacing feels really off, which obviously then isn't helped by dropping movie cutscenes in every opportunity, which are quite poorly done. But I suppose if you've got to make a full game out of an hour-and-a-half film, you've got to hit all those story beats really quickly. So I don't know, I mean, I guess they didn't have much to work with. There's no real challenge at all. I turned this game up to the hardest difficulty and it was still really easy. The only bit that gets harder, really, when you turn up the difficulty is the 2 hoverboard races you have to do, which on the hardest difficulty are so hard. It's unbelievable, but that's not the challenge I wanted. So yeah, for some reason the hoverboard race is really hard on hard mode, but everything else fairly easy. There's also a tinge of irony about this game, because the Ratchet and Clank game it's quite satirical when it comes to sort of corporate consumerism, capitalism, that kind of thing. But then this game spends the entire runtime trying to jam this shit movie down your throat. So there's kind of an element, I don't know if that would class as irony. You'd have to ask Alanis Morissette, I don't think she sang about the Ratchet and Clank games in that song, but you know, maybe a B-side, obviously. And that's that, really. It's a very simple game. Somewhat enjoyable, but not really. Kind of a slog. But it's an okay Ratchet and Clank game. I mean, so unless you've got any questions, all.
I didn't even know that there was a Ratchet and Clank film.
Do you know what? I played this game, didn't know there were a film, watched the cutscenes, thought, those cutscenes look really out of place. Googled it. I'm like, oh shit, there's a Ratchet and Clank film that's got Paul Giamatti in it.
Is it like...
Sylvester Stallone's in it.
Is it fully animated?
Yeah, it's just like watching the game, essentially. But,
Oh, okay.
But
It's not like a Garfield or whatever where there's a CGI Ratchet and Clank and then
No, it's not as interesting as that. Unfortunately, it's very sort of bland and the story's apparently not very. It's not a very well received film, despite the acting talents of, you know, Paul Giamatti, Sylvester Stallone. There was that Gingerbird that's quite fit, who then did OnlyFans and ruined it for everyone.
Oh, I don't know. When you said ginger woman that was quite fit, I was going to jump straight to Christina Hendricks, but
She looks a lot like Christina.
Unfortunately, did not do OnlyFans.
Just keep thinking of fit ginger woman while I find out. Karen Gillan.
Karen Gillan, she's in Avengers, isn't she? She's Nebula.
Well, she's not always bald.
No, but that's who she is.
Yeah. John Goodman's in it. Bella Thorne.
He's not ginger.
Bella Thorne, that's what. Yeah, John Goodman's on OnlyFans. Bella Thorne is who I meant.
Oh, I don't know who that is.
She sort of looks a bit like Christina Hendricks, but not as fit.
You're not saying that to the right person.
Yeah, so I mean, there's some acting talent in there, but yeah, still it's not very redeeming. Yeah, so that's it. Unless you've got any questions, all.
Obviously, what do you think of this game in terms of getting the platinum?
If the reason you platinum hunt is just to get the platinum trophy, and you're not bothered about enjoying a game, you just want that platinum trophy for the number count, whatever, then yeah, this game, absolutely. Most of the trophies are easy and obvious. The hardest thing difficulty wise is you have to do hoverboard time trials, and even then I did them in about 5 goes. The most annoying thing is just grinding all the weapons and Ratchet's health. It took me like 3 run-throughs of the full game to do it. So by that 3rd run-through, I'm like, Jesus, this is boring. But still less than like 10 hours. There's a trophy for making every enemy type dance to the Groovatron, which I hate these types of trophies because obviously nowhere tracks that. So you've just got to sort of either remember what you've used it on or just use it all the time. And I just opted to use it all the time. Mm-hmm. So yeah, like I said, if you don't care about the game that you're playing and you just want the platinum trophy, you can get this in like 10 hours. Would I recommend this game just to play? No. There's just way better action platformer games. Like, there's so many more that you could play. And there's even better Ratchet and Clank games. There's like, almost every other Ratchet and Clank game is better than this one. If you're looking for a good old game, play the original. If you're looking for a good new game, play Rift Apart. It's brilliant. I've got the platinum on that. Might cover that at some point. But that's it, yeah. Anyway, so thanks for watching, guys, and be sure to stay fully loaded. It's a Ratchet and Clank game.